Assalamu alaikum. I created this project. Let me show it to you, then I will explain everything. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How can I help you today?
What's your name?
I am Gemini, a large language model.
How are you doing today?
I am doing well. Thank you for asking. How about you?
So this is Gemini. We are communicating with Gemini Live API, Live Audio API, and it's multilingual. Let's try German. Hallo, können Sie Deutsch sprechen?
Hello, how can I help you today?
He doesn't let me complete my sentence. Let's try again. Let's try to talk with him in German. Hallo, können Sie Deutsch sprechen? Wie geht's dir?
Ja, ich kann Deutsch sprechen. Mir geht es gut, danke. Und wie geht es Ihnen?
Alles gut.
Das freut mich zu hören. Was kann ich für Sie tun?
So this is German. Let's try to speak with him Arabic. ازيك عامل ايه اخبارك؟
أنا بخير. شكرا لسؤالك. كيف حالك أنت؟
انا كويس الحمد لله، شكرا لسؤالك.
على الرحب والسعة. هل هناك أي شيء يمكنني مساعدتك فيه اليوم؟
So we are communicating with Gemini API. It's multilingual. The link in the description on my GitHub profile. So now I have displayed to you the project. So now let's, and I wanted to show you that we can interrupt him. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of interruption, so we don't let him complete the sentence. So let me explain to you everything about this project. So this project is, as we can see here, we can see when you go to the repository, you will see three folders, v1, v2, v3. So v3 contains two folders: Express project, that is the back end, and v project, that is the front end. The back end has two important files: app.js and .env. .env is the environment variables. I will not open this file because it contains my secret Google API key. I shouldn't share this with anyone. So it's a secret. I can rotate the key, but I want you to sense the importance. I want you to sense the security. So basically, the API key shouldn't be shared with anyone. So it should only be kept on the front end, on the back end. Why shouldn't it be shared with anyone? Because if we share it with anyone, if we put it in the client side, maybe there is a security problem, because someone might look at the code and access this API token and use it however he wants, and we will be charged. So for example, you can find, for example, your bill suddenly became $100,000 or $200,000 because he kept using this infinitively. So this is a security problem. So we don't want anyone to know or use or see the API key. So what happens is that we don't send the API key to the user directly, to the client. What happens is that for security, we generate something called ephemeral API key. Again, ephemeral API key. The ephemeral API key or the ephemeral token is something that will be used, for example, 10 times. It has expiry, so it expires after, for example, here we made it expire after 1 hour. We can make it expire anytime we want. And here we configure the token. We configure all the configuration with the token. So we made Google. The API key is used here in this variable called the client. It's not sent to the client, but this variable called the client has the API key, knows the API key, and we say HTTP options v1 alpha. This must be said according to the documentation. v1 alpha. And now the models. The models, as we can see here, there are 4 models: native audio and have cascade audio. So native audio, we got 2 models, and have cascade audio. This link here tells you about the models. Okay, so the native audio, I think it looks at the audio itself, but have cascade audio, I think it goes in some kind of process where it takes the, so this is natural and realistic, better multilingual, I think this like it talks with audio itself, but this one I think it takes it to transcription. I think it goes through transcription, and then it goes to saying or mentioning and everything, converting text to audio and audio to text. So here we create all of our setup, and then finally after we are done we send the token on okay. So this is about the express endpoint, how it works. We create the token, and then we send it on this link from /session. Now let's go to feed project. We have here app. There are 3 important files. On the back end there are 3, in the front end there are 3 important files. The app, the use Gemini live audio, and the sample of messages. So let me explain everyone. The messages is a dummy response that I have taken from Gemini, so that you can revise the logic behind me if you want, so that you don't take my logic like trusted, and that you can revise me is my logic implementation wrong or something. So this is the first file, messages to JSON, so that how I handle the messages. You can revise behind me, and if you find anything you can change the code. The second one is this hook called use Gemini live audio. I will explain to you this hook. So this hook takes a few parameters and it returns a few outputs. So it takes on message received. The message is an object. The message it should be like another type. It shouldn't be object. It should be server. I don't know, server response or something. I will find it. Server. Live server message, maybe. I don't know. Live. Okay. I will find it and I think this is it. I think this is the type. I will look at it later. Okay. So on message received, what happens when the message is received? I will take a look at this later after I complete the on message received, what happens when the message is received and the message is sent to the user? On audio response complete. Okay, and also before I forget, I wanted to talk about setup. The first thing that must be sent before we do anything is that we must send this setup request. This setup request is empty because Google says the following. Google believes the following. Google believes that, according to my experience, it doesn't have to be 100% correct. You can revise behind me, but Google says that the system instructions should be on the server side, and the user shouldn't even know the system instructions or know anything about the model used, or or know the API token, or know anything. He should just take that ephemeral token and use it. The client side should do this. Should use the ephemeral token, and the ephemeral token has all the configurations. So the configurations are linked to the ephemeral token, but we must send this setup message. It's not optional. We must send it, and it must be the first message sent, even if it's empty. So now let's get back to the project. So I was saying, on message received, what happens when the message is received? It's an object. On audio response complete. So this, what happens here is that, let's look at the messages. The messages is sent as audio. The messages is sent as audio. So let's take a look. The message is sent as audio, BCM. The sample rate is 24K or 24,000 hertz. This is the sample rate, and the mono. So this is it's sent as chunk. So for example, let's say here this says, all of this says, yes, I can hear you. How are you doing today? So this will be this first one will be like yeah, and this will be yes, and this will be I can, like that. It will be like that. Okay. So each chunk creates a part of the response. And it's in this format. So we can't send audio, we can't send like real audio, we can't send, the API doesn't send like real wave files or something, but it sends BCM base 64 strings because it's JSON. We are communicating with JSON in the WebSocket. So this data it's about chunks, and then it's done here. When it's done, when it says generation complete. So what happens is that on response complete, is that this hook keeps collecting those chunks, keeps collecting them in a queue. Collect each one on each response, and then finally when generation is complete, it takes all of these chunks and returns them here, combined with this function at the end, combined base 64 array list. It combines all the array list and it returns them as a single audio base 64 BCM 24 kilohertz, and then it clears the response queue. So this is we are talking about the signature on audio response complete. We return the base 64 audio on usage report. So what happens, let's take a look at messages. What happens is that we can see here something called, and after each response, after each generation complete, we get something called usage metadata. So usage metadata is to charge you that you have used, for example, prompt token details. You have used the modality text, used 1000 token, and you have used the modality audio, used 1 token. The response modality audio, 82 tokens. So this is how for on usage, so that you can access. This should be also another type. Okay, to do. Oh no, just usage. I will find the type usage metadata. Yes. So it should be of type usage metadata. Okay, so this should be of the type of usage metadata, and I will find the type of the message after I record this video. Message, okay, and then you on usage report ready to receive audio. Ready to receive audio is on ready to receive audio is a function when the hook is ready to receive audio. On socket close, what happens when we are communicating with WebSockets to this URL? We are communicating with WebSockets to this URL. So the WebSocket is open and it's closed. It can create an error, or it can be closed, it can be opened. So okay, on socket closed, on socket error. So what does this hook return? This hook returns, is WebSocket connected? It's a Boolean value that represents whether the WebSocket is connected or not. Connect WebSocket is a function. It takes the ephemeral key. So what happens here is that when we press on this button, connect WebSocket, let's take a look at what happens. We fetch this slash session from the express, from the back end. Where is the slash session? Slash session, yeah, we fetch here from the slash session, and then we take the token response, we take the ephemeral key, and then we pass it to connect WebSocket here. Connect WebSocket takes the ephemeral key as an input. So we fetch the token. When we press connect, we fetch the token from back end, and then we say here we get it from using the ephemeral key. Okay, disconnect WebSocket is a function that if the WebSocket is connected, it will disconnect it. Is WebSocket connecting is a function, is a Boolean that represent is the WebSocket connecting or not at the moment. So this can be it will be connecting in two cases. The first one, we have sent a request to the back end. It is connecting, can be in two cases. The first one, the connection is being established in the WebSocket, and the second case is that we are creating the setup and we haven't received the setup message. So until we receive this message, setup complete, until we receive this message, we can't send audio, and we say that the WebSocket is connecting. Send the base 64 audio chunks. This function is used. It takes a base 64 string. It's used when you want to send to the API when you wanted to send an audio to the API, when you wanted to send an audio chunk with the voice recorder. Is initialized, it represent is initialized or not. Is AI response in progress? Now this means starting from here, starting from server content dot model term dot parts. If it finds this, it will say server that the response is being processed. So when it's being processed, let's turn off the mic from the user so that we don't hear any, so that there is no interruptions. So we stop sending audio when AI response in progress. So during sending all of these messages, the server, all of this, we say here response in progress until the response finally says generation complete. Then we say that the response is not in progress. We change this state to be false, and we change this state to be false, and then we compile the base 64, all of these responses, mixes them together, all of these audio responses, all of these audio chunks, we mix them together into one response, into one base 64, and then we send it using the on audio response complete. The app.tsx file, as you can see, it's just the, as you can see here, that was it. I hope you find this video to be helpful, and I have created this package, and thank you so much. See you later. Assalamu alaikum. This is just to communicate with Gemini API. Assalamu alaikum.